Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. I appreciate you coming back for another episode here. We are on a brand new map, yes, and brand new. When I say brand new, well, it was just released today on the Mod Hub. And yes, this is Lawfolds, which is a Scottish map that takes place in the Aberdeen area of Scotland. And it's just a very beautiful map, and it's one that I've been sort of watching for a couple of weeks now, from the group that, or from the individual that put this one out. This is by an individual named Stussy or Stussy, and it is on the Mod Hub, so if you're interested in playing this map, well, you will find it there. So we are in the first day, the opening minutes of the map save. We haven't really done a whole lot. I've not done my typical, buy up a bunch of land, cheat in a bunch of money, buy up a bunch of equipment. The only equipment that I've actually purchased, which did not come on the map, was I did purchase that New Holland tractor and also the plow, the ripper that it's pulling. Actually I saw, who did I see? Who was using that? Oh, Landy Kid was using that John Deere Ripper on, I believe, Colborough Park Farm, I believe, either that or Chellington, one of the two. And it's a little bit of a, well, it has the technique, or it has the functionality of a plow. Sort of looks like a cultivator, and it's a 6.2 meter width, I believe. I just thought I would use it on this map. We'll probably also use it on Colborough Park Farm as well, just because it is something different, and just a little bit different from your standard looking plow. And so I did look at it, look it up, and I know that there's a lot of cultivators that have been modded to serve as a plow function, and well, those are okay, but I wanted to go with something that's a little bit more realistic, and I did research that, and that does more or less rip the ground and function as a plow, so that's what we're going to use here on this map. So again, we're basically starting in career mode, which is something that I haven't done in a long time, and I haven't really done it in a series on my YouTube channel, and so I wanted to do that just on this map here, especially just because, well, just because I wanted to, I suppose. So we are going to sell off some equipment, and I will talk to you all about that when I get ready to sell that equipment. I'm going to sell the pickup. I'm trying to find my my combine here. I think it is in here, and it is. So we are going to keep the Massey combine and the Massey header that comes with this map. We're going to do that. Again, the only thing that I've really added to the map is the is that New Holland T8 tractor, just because I think every farm needs a good sturdy tractor to get started with, and that's going to be our sort of our workhorse. That's going to be our plowing tractor, and it's going to really help us get a lot of things done on our farm. And the only other thing that I think that I purchased, let me just get this combine out of here. We're going to go ahead and go start harvesting this field over here. The only other thing that I did put on this map is, or that I went ahead and purchased, was the modded header trailer, because I am liable to I am liable to have a conniption fit if I have to use the in-game or the Giants header trailer. So I need to kind of set some things up here as well. I should have maybe done all this off camera, but I will sort of, as I use this equipment, I will set up my stuff here. So let me just for Reefy 1952, let me see, can I get out of here? I can. I'm going to start off with the JCB, and I need to find where I am on the map, because I am getting I find that I get kind of lost on this map. And again, I've only spent about 15 or 20 minutes. I think you started just before 7 o'clock, and running in standard time. Oh, the header is over here, isn't it? And I've made one trip to the store. I went up there to pick up the New Holland, and then I came back, and so that's really where I am. So not made any progress, so we're going to all do this together. And this is most likely going to replace old streams. I certainly like old stream, but because I really started playing it without seasons and such, I have sort of gotten a bit lost, I would say, perhaps, without using seasons. And even though seasons are a little bit different, as I sort of explained in my Coldborough Park series, I think that was episode number 4 that I sort of did. I talked about the reset and everything that I did. Let's see. Alright. So it actually came off there okay this time, but I do not trust it long term. So we're gonna replace this this trailer, as I said before, at some point in the near future. I'll put this in group 2 and rename this medium tractors. If I can type correctly. I find it hard to type while I reach over my steering wheel. And let's get back in our combine, and we will go ahead and harvest this field. Let's see, disable. We'll go ahead and do a straw swath on this. We don't have any animals yet, so you haven't really seen me do a map where I sort of start from almost the initial stages of loading the mod and starting it up and everything. You guys, pretty much I usually spend a little bit of time getting things set up, almost as if, well, I suppose sort of one of the ways that I like to play the game is I like to play the game as if I am, farming on an established farm, something that maybe has, either I've been the owner of for several years, or it's been in the family for several years, or something of that nature, versus coming in from, minute 1 and starting with the default equipment and all that kind of stuff. I do encourage you to play, and I think I continue calling this sort of career mode. It's just something that I've adopted. I don't know if it's the official term. I don't know if other YouTubers, and I hate that term, but I don't know if other guys refer to it sort of in that way. But it's sort of how I think about it is, you're starting off with whatever the map developer, the map modder created, and his or her vision for the map, and it really is, these guys that spend their all the time in creating these maps, they really are artists. Whether it be Bullet Bill, Oxygen David, Stevie, this guy here, Stussy or Stussy, these guys are artists. I mean, they're artists in their own right. They're craftsmen, to create this, and they have a certain vision, I guess, that they want to attempt to try to achieve, and as a I'm going to say it again, as a YouTuber, you know, it's sort of in my mind, in my way of thinking, I want to do my very best to both showcase their map, their masterpiece, their work of art, how they intended it to be played, but at the same time there's this fine line between, you know, doing that and also having fun. And sometimes, let's just face it, I mean, sometimes the starting equipment that you start off with for these maps is just, you know, so small that you just spend such a long amount of time grinding away before you can really get yourself established to where that you can start having fun. And it's not that seeding with a 3-meter seeder is not fun. It certainly is, but you know, I think that everyone has, you know, aspirations and high intentions on getting their farm up and going and getting whether it just be arable or whether they're going to mix in animals, or they're going to go heavy on animals and light on arable. You know, it just, I think everybody wants to get to a point where that they are having fun and they've got lots of different things to do, and they have a lot of different choice as far as what they want to do and when they want to do it. And you know, and I'm no different in that way of thinking. You know, I play to have fun, and I put my gameplay on YouTube as an extension of my hobby. It's not, as I've said before, I currently don't earn anything from YouTube. I don't have any advertising turned on. I am thinking about turning it on only simply because if I could make enough money from my YouTube gameplays through advertising to turn that money into giveaways, either for Farm Sim 17 or Cattle and Crops later when it is a little bit closer to coming out and I start playing the pre-release version of that, then that would be my intentions for that. I don't want to necessarily, or I don't need the income that I might get from YouTube to pay bills or to, you know, do any, or to eat or things like that. So, you know, and those guys that are earning a living playing games on YouTube, man, I take my hat off to them. If I were 20 years younger, or if I were maybe about 12 years older, to a point to where that I could retire, and if I had the means to have a channel that could provide some income to, you know, kind of keep me busy and keep me stocked in computer hardware when things wear out, or when, you know, updates and stuff need to be done, then I would certainly be all over that. But right now, this is really just an extension. It's just a hobby for me, and it's an extension of my gameplay. And for those of you that don't know or haven't checked it out lately, and I will apologize because I haven't kept my blogging efforts current, at least not very frequently, but I do blog. I've had a written blog for the past 7 years now, and you can find that over at GRIZZLYBearSims.com, and I blog about the game titles that I play and about news and stuff that's affecting the hobbies. And I do want to get back into that. I think that I've just been somewhat overexcited about getting the YouTube channel going and just focusing on making sure that I am producing enough content and getting it out, you know, quick enough to where that there's interest. And it's not that I'm into big numbers or anything like that, but yeah, so it's just an extension. It's just a bit of fun for me. All right, well, we are harvesting along here, and we're about halfway through, or about halfway through the episode, and we're about what 80% full for our harvester. So pretty decent yield, I suppose. This is not the largest Massey combine that's in the game, but likewise, it's also not the smallest or the oldest combine in the game either. So let me switch that over to G and lift that header up and try to do things a little bit more realistic. And my brakes are I think I might need to adjust my brake sensitivity just a little bit. I kind of ran through the crop there. So and I'm not going to call this a brainstorm. Well, it was my brainstorm. I'm not going to say that it is any sort of unique idea that no one else has ever thought of, but I came up with an idea for a mod. Not necessarily today. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and I just decided today to actually post a forum post over at Modding Central and also at PCSG about my idea, in the hopes that maybe somebody that is into script mods might be willing to take it up and run with it. Well, so in FarmSim 15, one of the greatest things about one of the greatest mods for FarmSim 15, other than Courseplay and Auto Combine and some of those things, was the rental mods that came out, and there were a couple of different ones, a couple of different rental type mods that were available, and those were great. And obviously Giants did a good thing by incorporating I'm going to just back up just a little bit, and we need to do our pipe here. I'm going to shut the combine off, and I'm going to jump out. But one of the so obviously Giants put into FarmSim 17 the whole rental or lease concept, and that's great. That's fantastic, because there may be things that you need to be able to a task on the farm or something that you want to achieve, that you only need to do it once or maybe twice or whatever, and you think to yourself, well, I'm just going to rent that. I'm just going to rent that piece of equipment. I'm going to rent that that tractor or that combine. Maybe you've got maybe you're trying to get a little bit more of your crops in before winter sets in, and you just want to do that. So that's great. But the idea that I came up with, and hopefully I can easily find one of our two tipper trailers that we've got. I know that we've got two here, not there, as I run into the side of the building. But would a mod, and again it would be a script, obviously, and that would be a way to buy or purchase used equipment. Okay, so my thought process on this is fairly simple. So the way that Giants implemented the whole cost of ownership with equipment. So in other words, when you have a tractor that is a little bit older, and let me just hook up this tipper, and then I'll pull up this view here so that I can speak, sort of educate. So for example, our Lizard pickup rodeo, okay, it's 96 days old. It's costing us 29 pounds a day in maintenance. It's valued at $10,321. So we're kind of fortunate because the rest of the stuff is not old. And obviously, if we were to price this in the store, and if we just sort of do this now, if we go here and where our our cars. We go here. If I wanted to purchase this brand new, even though it's not really brand new because it's looks like a 1970 or 80 model Ford or Chevy or Dodge pickup, or I think it's kind of a mixture of all of them combined, it would cost $22,000. Well, if we had the opportunity to purchase this used, and knowing that if we were to do that, if we were to purchase a used vehicle, that we would also end up having the higher cost of running the vehicle, it could be that sort of that filler, that extra level of immersion that would help us in between actually purchasing something new outright versus renting or leasing. You know, sometimes it doesn't make sense to lease a piece of equipment because you don't own it. You don't get anything back from it when you go to turn that piece of equipment or that vehicle back in. You're basically you're using it, and whatever you get out of it, you turn that back in, and all is good. But if you had the opportunity, and I'm thinking about, okay, you know, you're playing in career mode, and you've reached a point of where that maybe you want to get into you need a corn header. Okay, maybe you don't have a corn header. The map that you started playing, you don't have that yet, and so you need to buy a corn header. But instead of paying new for that, you look at the options for used. And of course, you would know that buying that corn header is going to cost you more money. Sorry, I'm trying to get my header down. There we go. Is going to end up costing you a little bit more money per day to operate that corn header, but it fills that void because you don't feel as if you're wasting money because you're leasing or renting something that you're not going to get anything back from it. You have a need for it. You have less expensive options for you to purchase something that is used. You know that your daily maintenance upkeep is going to be a little bit higher than it would be if you were to buy it brand new, but it will fill that interim gap to a point to where that maybe come next harvest, or you sell another crop or whatever, then you can sell that used or trade it in. Sell that used corn header that you purchased, and then go and buy something that's brand new. I don't know. Is it a crazy idea? Is it a good idea? I think it's a good idea. I think it would add an extra level of immersion that I think would be quite fun. It would be quite interesting to add that to our gameplay, and I hope somebody will take the idea and run with it. And I'm not talented enough I can't really do anything. I can edit, like if I get a mod, and if I there was a John Deere sprayer for Farm Sim 15 that I found that had like 20,000 liter capacity spray tank on it, and that was just unrealistic. And I was able to go into the XML file, I guess, and change the value and make that a more realistic number. I can do those sorts of things, but as far as creating a script mod or stuff like that, I don't even know where to start. And I hope that somebody will sort of look at that and say, well, to me that sounds like a good idea, and basically run with it. So here's sort of my thinking on how my channel is going to kind of work over, at least over the next couple of weeks. I've kind of got a bit of a little bit of a busy time at work for the next week or two. I've actually got to travel next week, but I think that this map, Lawfolds, is going to replace Oldstream, and so I'm going to be concentrating over the next couple of days, and I'm actually recording this on the 5th of January. You're probably going to see this relatively quick, I think, or at least that's my plan. Is I think that over, you know, the sort of the frequency is going to be this map, and obviously Coldborough Park Farm. And once Coldborough Park Farm gets to a point to where that it's sort of like in midsummer, so a few more episodes from now, I will fire back up Goldcrest Valley, Stevie's Edit, and work us through winter, because we need to kind of understand if we were able to stockpile enough straw and hay and grass and all that kind of stuff, and maybe go another season, but probably, you know, shorter, obviously shorter episodes, because I'm no longer doing the hour format. I'm sticking to 30-35 minutes or so, but, you know, obviously maybe abbreviate things, because I know that Goldcrest is not that popular because you guys have seen it so much, but because we started kind of with the whole seasonal approach, I really want to see how that's gonna play out. But yeah, so kind of right now it'll be the three maps. This map, Coldborough Park Farm, and Goldcrest. I think I will go ahead and get ready to end this episode now. I will just thank you all for watching, and I appreciate all the likes and the subscriptions to the channel and everything. It really helps me. It helps keep me motivated. You know, everyone says this, all the YouTube guys say this, but it actually is. And I might have been like you, and I might have went like, what difference does it make? But when you step into this role and you start actively producing content, and you start actively engaging with your fans, your audience, and everything, it really does help. It helps to see the likes, it helps to see new subscriptions come in, etc. It kind of keeps me motivated and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here, and I will just remind you to please check out the Three Dudes Gaming Network. Also check out PCSG. All the links are down below under the video in the show notes. Also check out my blog site at GRIZZLYBearSims.com. And if you see a mod or something in any of my Let's Play series that you are interested in, I have an extensive mod spreadsheet that's available through GRIZZLYBearSims.com if you go out there and take a look at that. But also, and this is possibly the most important thing that I could say to each and every one of you, is to go out and look at all of the featured YouTube guys that I have listed on my channel. Some of them are listed in the show notes. You'll find like Eustace, Pharmer, and Species7 and such there in the show notes. But if you look in the featured channels list on my YouTube channel page, you'll see guys like Reefy 1952 and the Bipolar Prophet and Disco and Wheels247, Multi-Mikey, etc. Those are wonderful YouTube guys. They put out some of the best content that you're going to see on YouTube, and pretty much all these guys are doing farm sim stuff, and they have a ball doing it, and you'll learn something from it, from their episodes, and it's just good, wholesome, clean content. which is, if you know me, I like to keep things G-rated because we have such a varied audience. We've got young people that really enjoy these videos, and I would never want anyone to think that they can't sit down with their child, their son, their daughter, maybe their grandchildren, and watch a video of mine, or watch a video of anyone that I sort of feature on my channel list, and think that they're going to have to worry about language or other things being something that they're going to have to explain to that younger person. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jerry Grizzly Bear Sims, and I hope that you'll come back to another episode very soon here, either on Lawfolds or on Colborough Park Farm or Gold Crest Valley. So thanks all for watching. I appreciate it, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care now. Bye-bye.